Good morning, YouTube. This is Naz at Urban Permaculture. I'm in Zone 7A outside of Philadelphia. Wanted to do a follow-up video. This is June 7th, 2022 on my garden. A lot of my perennials are actually in containers. I have a bunch of annuals in the ground actually. Yeah, let's do a little tour. I have a backyard. This is the backyard. I'll show you guys the side yard, and if I have time, I'll possibly even show you guys my front yard. So in the ground, I do a bunch of eggplants, tomatoes, and hot peppers. They're really starting to flower. I have a bunch of varieties. I believe this is one of them right here. Black Beauty. It's a proven winner. I get it at my local nursery every year, and it does really good in my area, so I tend to stick with that variety. I have a few other varieties. Over here we have some Asian spinach, and these are some greens. You guys may not really be familiar with this, but I'm from Bangladesh originally. I was born there, and this is like kind of like a spinach over there. Really good. It grows super fast. These were only, the whole area was filled with them, and you kind of just thin them out and you just saute them like spinach or whatever. Got some eggplants back there. Got a squash, some baby tomatoes. Squash I only put in about 2 weeks ago, already bearing some fruit. What else do we have? So these are all spinach. These become very big. These are like an Asian spinach. I gotta get the name for these. These aren't really very common in the US that I know of. A bunch of plants I'm developing. I love nasturtium, so you'll see that everywhere in my pots. The leaves are actually edible. I never really ate them, but this year I think I'm gonna try like sauteing them when I pick greens from a bunch of stuff. This is my asparagus container. I had this for about 2 years. Had a bunch of asparagus come out. I'm just gonna let them, develop good roots by letting them fern out. This is my first blackberry here. So that's a thorn variety. Has some nasty thorns actually. Never had fruit from this. It's my second year. It's growing like crazy. It was really just like one stalk. My whole bucket's really filled out, and I use these are like 30-40 gallon buckets. No fruit, like I was saying, no fruit from this yet. Hopefully this is the year I get fruit. This is, next to this is my thornless blackberry. And this is the first year that I had fruit on this one, and it's looking prolific. I cut it to keep it kind of small, but let me zoom in for you guys. So this is the first year that I should be getting some fruit from this. Parsley. I have a black currant here that has some fruit. I don't know if you guys can tell. First year I had some fruit on my black currants, so it looks like they're starting to turn a little bit. I'm eager to try that. I have a blueberry back here that's doing like super well this year. And this isn't just a bucket, a Lowe's bucket, good drainage, good soil. I have a gooseberry that is doing prolific. And once again, bucket. This is the second year of fruiting for me, and yeah, last year I only had like one stalk with fruit. This year I had a bunch. Wanted to show you my persimmon tree. I have a strawberry in here, nasturtium. It's very late to wake up. I heard persimmons wake up late if you transplant them, so this might be what's happening here. But yeah, it is waking up. It is alive. I don't want to get my bark exposed to too much sun, so I guess the nasturtium's gonna stay that much. I might thin them out a little bit. But yeah, it's doing good. I don't know if you guys can see. Sorry, I'm gonna work on getting a better camera soon, actual tripod possibly. Nasturtiums are looking beautiful. This is what the spinach look like. It's like a thick leaf spinach. These are what the other greens I was telling you about on the other side. If you thin them out and you keep one or two, these stalks get like this thick or even thicker sometimes, and you can kind of eat them like celery, put it in curries. They're really good. So here's my Cortland apple. Got it for 35 bucks this year. It had some fruit on it. I thinned a few of the fruits out. And now I'm about to show you guys my apple tree. So I do have a few apples. Noah. Noah, Bantu Tau. Bantu Tau. It's fun. Sorry, I had to tend to my son real quick. So I'll go back to the tour. So yeah, this is my Cortland apple. Apparently it's a variety. I did a little bit of research on this from like the 1800s. One of the first varieties to be introduced. Comes from New York, so I'm hoping it's a good, like, disease resistant ones. In my area, apples can be kind of hard to grow. They're prone to a lot of diseases and such. So I wasn't too eager to put an apple tree, but I know I shouldn't be going to Lowe's to buy trees, but I went there just to see kind of what they had, and this is the one tree that really stood out to me, so I ended up buying an apple tree. This is I also got this year. I got this at a local tree nursery, and once I saw it, I just had to have it. It was kind of expensive. I ended up spending $96 on this tree. It has 3 fruit on it. Let's see what happens. Good growth since I replanted it. I do a thick mulch on my pots. This right here is my bush cherry. Doing pretty well. I'm going to replant this next year in a bigger pot. I have a hollyhock. I didn't really know about this plant. I saw it at a nursery and the flowers look beautiful, so I had to buy it. Been waiting on it to bloom for like a month now. I really want it to bloom soon so I can see it for the first time. I love perennial flowers, so I have some unique ones for me at least. I'm not sure what these two are called, and I'm notorious for losing tags. More nasturtium. I have my what's this? This is a Vitis labrusca Concord grape. I do have a bunch of grapes on it. I don't know if you can tell. Nasturtium. This is like a daisy perennial. It kind of comes up every year. I had like one plant, has a bunch of baby ones. I have another blueberry. It does have some blueberries. This is a 2-year plant. I got it at like a Lidl for like $5 and it's doing pretty decent. I got my honeyberry. It had some berries in the season, but I think it might have dropped them. But yeah, maybe next year I'll have some. Yeah, I had some, but I don't see any.
Papa?
Yeah.
Dropped it?
Yeah, I think it dropped some berries. This is my son Noah. I have another blueberry that's not doing so good. If anyone would leave me a comment on what I can do, let me know. No, be careful where you step. I have a mint. This is a spearmint. Got some spinach growing. More nasturtium. I actually have a mulberry in this is mainly supposed to be a mulberry pot, and I have 2 pineapple feijoas that I'm trying, or I'm not even sure if they're pineapple feijoa, but they're feijoas. I found out I can grow them in my environment, and you know, I'm used to having guavas in Bangladesh, so I thought I would try it. More spinaches and such. This is all peppers in the ground. This is my favorite raspberry. I believe it's a heritage. But it has big clumps of berries. They're everywhere. You just really can't see it. More growing. I have another raspberry that's fruiting for the first time. This is just in a bucket, so it might not be ideal for this plant, but it won't get too invasive at least. More of those spinach. Once again, these are thinned out so the stalks get big. Lamb's quarter, we eat these mixed with these green spinach and such, like kind of like a saute. It's so tasty. Kind of a grass area that's kind of left alone. I just recently mulched this whole area, and these are mostly just kind of for decoration. These come up every year. I'm not sure what they're called, but beautiful flower. I planted this yellow bush here. I'm not sure what it's called. It's beautiful. Every year I trim it down and it gets kind of beautiful. I think it's gonna flower for the first time. I have this rose bush that I bought for $1, and every year I gotta trim it back down to like 2 branches, and then it comes back like this after early spring pruning. So this thing is prolific, and it would be literally the size of my house if I just let it be. If we keep walking, recently, like I said, I did mulch this area. Planted a rhubarb right there on the left. It's finally having 2 new leaves since I planted it, so that's a good sign. Got some lovage. That's doing decent. Got some new leaves on the lovage. These are forget what this flower is called. It's like a Rose of Sharon, I believe. I kind of just dug those up. There's some nearby in like the woods. So dug some up and planted it, and they're doing good. One thing I just noticed, I think just like a bird egg right there. So maybe a bird's nesting in this or something. But that's good. I love to see it. But unfortunately it's cracked. I planted a gummy berry sucker that was coming out. It's not doing too well. I also planted, this is a black mission fig. Planted this in the ground about last year. And this is the new one I got this year. I planted one last year and it died. So I had to replace it, unfortunately, but I'm hoping this black mission fig does very well. The leaves look good. Another one of those bushes that I love. A knockout rose that I should trim back and let the new growth come out. Here I have a peach that I started from pit, and it was in a container back there that I just showed you, and I planted it in the ground. I should have planted it maybe facing up a little bit, maybe a little bit too close to the house, or maybe in this corner. But yeah, I'll trim it so maybe it comes facing out or something. I stuck one of my raspberries. Unfortunately, I stuck a thorn one, but I stuck it in the pot. So when I planted this tree, I planted it together. And look at this rose. All right, I'm not gonna. There's kids out there waiting for the bus, so I'm not gonna look weird filming them, so, or around them. So I guess this will just be a tour of my side yard. I think I should water my gummy berry a little bit. It is going through transplant shock, I believe. No, come here. But yeah, one more thing I have to show you guys is my container strawberries, which are have a bunch of fruit happening on this one. I have some ripe ones in here. So yeah, I'm gonna take some of these runners and I'm gonna put them in between all this. So next year I'll have a bunch of free strawberry plants, and I'm gonna mulch it well, and this I'm gonna make the whole ground cover of this just strawberries is what the goal is. But yeah, my son loves picking these, washing them, eating them. But yeah, this is my garden tour. I don't think I'm gonna add too many plants this year. I already bought 2 trees, a bunch of perennials. Believe it or not, that grapevine I showed you is first year. The large persimmon tree is first year. The apple tree is first year. Yeah, the fig tree again, I had to start again, is first year. The lovage is first year. The rhubarb is first year. So, you know, added a lot of plants this year, so I think I'm gonna be content. I'm gonna do some mulching and, you know, upkeep. I love flowers, so I have dahlia sprouted up everywhere that I'm gonna be planting everywhere. More nasturtium, parsley, cilantro, more of those greens from here that we pick out. I'm gonna have more regular videos. I would love for you guys to like, subscribe, and comment. Like I'm saying, I'm in 7A outside of the Philadelphia area. I want to get into some different types of fruits that you can't normally find in the stores. Those are the things that I normally would like to grow. That's why I like the persimmons. It's long harvest. It's the end harvest time. So everything's dead in December, January. It'll still be, your persimmon trees are the only things with fruit on it. So it looks very cool. I got 2 of them. I'm thinking about adding a jujube tree, because I think that would be cool. No one really has jujubes in this area like that I know of. So yeah, like, share, comment, and I'll have another update. Have a good one. Take care.